welcome to the next installment of Coaching Through Christmas using the medium of Christmas movies. Now, I've brought along with me today a little bit of resource.
Oh,
It's one
spot
of
the teacher.
I know, can't help it. Can't help myself. So The Polar Express, it's actually one of my favourite Christmas movies.
Is it?
It is. Well, certainly one of the favourite animated ones, yeah. And I am in the minority in my household, unfortunately. And it saddens me quite significantly. And I think one of the things that I like about it is the simplicity of it. And, you know, we talked earlier in one of the other episodes about the snowman and how it doesn't feel like Christmas until you've seen the snowman, but it gives you a sense of feeling of grief and loss. Whereas the Polar Express for me does completely the other thing. It reminds me about believing in Christmas, and it does it in such a gentle way, and it does it in such a thoughtful way, and it doesn't throw Christmas down your throat like some other of the Christmas movies. So one of the bits that I really, really enjoy in a very strange way is the fact that they have these children come onto the train and they're effectively thrown together in a way that they wouldn't know each other in real life or a waking life. And you've got such a different variety of them. And again, as a teacher, you know, that's quite an interesting thing for me, that children are effectively forced together. And often there's an assumption that because they're children, they have the same understanding and they have the same beliefs and they have the same background and context to Christmas. And I think what I find interesting about the Polar Express is that the children are all on there for different reasons, and they're learning a lesson as they go through the train journey and onwards. And there's one little boy who's actually called the Lonely Boy, who's on there, and he gets on the Polar Express, but he doesn't go in where all the other children are. He goes into a carriage by himself, and he's known as the he basically sees it as Christmas isn't for him, it's for other kids. And I just think it's so sad.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things, again, with a lot of movies, where if you watch them over again, you notice something different about it. And this last time when I watched it, I noticed that he gets his ticket punched with depend on, rely on, count on. And I thought that was such a lovely thing. And I thought it's such a lovely thing for us to think about at Christmas. Who can we depend on? Who can we rely on? And who can we count on? And often we get so hurt when people who we depend on, rely on, count on let us down. But that's often because we haven't articulated that's who they are to us. They might not even know that that's who they are to us. And I think, again, it's an opportunity at Christmas to think about who is it that means something to us, and how do we communicate with them, and finding a way in which that would be understandable to them. But also it's thinking about, do I depend on myself and rely on myself? Am I my biggest advocate? Am I the person, you know, do I support myself? Am I kind to myself? And we often forget that. We're so busy looking externally that we forget to look internally. And I think that's one of my key messages from the Polar Express, but also for this Christmas, is to think about, am I somebody that others can count on? But am I also somebody that I can count on for myself? So that's what
Fantastic.
I'll be doing.
Yeah. Fantastic. We'll see you on the next day of Christmas.